Skike, a big game and a win to extend this series into a Game 5 tomorrow. When you found out you would be throwing Game 4 if there was one, how excited were you and hopeful that it got to this point?
Yeah, I was super excited. I was just hoping that it would get to a Game 4. Just told Brownie after Game 2, I said, give me Game 4, because I was really excited to go out there and pitch that night.
What did you learn from Brownie's outing yesterday or the first 3 games of this series? Or you've seen Laredo plenty yourself. Did you have a game plan already in mind when this series began?
Yeah, I think we've had a pretty good game plan all series. You know, I think we've been able to execute for the most part all series. You know, there's been a couple times, but I think the biggest thing is, you know, making sure the middle of the lineup doesn't beat you. You know, Phipps and Danker can make you pay with the long ball and just force them to beat you the other way, especially the way the wind was blowing today.
Your bullpen has been living the high wire act here the last 2 days, but let's talk first about the rookie Alex Boshers. He came in a tough situation, nearly got out of it without allowing a run, and then had 2 on with nobody out the following inning and allows nothing. What do you think of Alex Boshers in his rookie year?
Man, he's been phenomenal. I mean, and he's just fearless. He wants the ball. He wants the ball every night, and he's got that attitude of, you know, just going out there and pounding the zone. And gosh, to come out of that inning, 2nd and 3rd, no outs, and only giving up 1 run was a huge victory for us, and to get us back in the dugout and turn it over to our sticks again. He's been phenomenal all year.
I wanted to talk about a guy who seems to come up big in these situations every time. John Nestor had the go-ahead bases-loaded single to drive in 2 runs and give you guys the lead. What does Nestor do for your team, both at the plate and then, more importantly, probably behind the plate?
Yeah, I think he'll tell you that he takes pride in what he does behind the dish more so than he does at the plate, but the fact that he can go out there and do that for us is just a plus. And I think that goes for all of our guys right now. I mean, we're just trying to find a way. You know, we're trying to piece together, and I think we're really playing as a team right now, and it's great to see.
Last year on the way to the championship, you guys never faced a game you had to win. Tomorrow you do it for a 3rd straight time. How confident is the clubhouse going into tomorrow's game?
You know, I think we're taking it pretty much 1 out at a time. You know, as cliche as that might sound, 1 pitch at a time, 1 at bat at a time, 1 inning at a time, and going from there and see where it takes us, not looking at the big picture and just trying to do whatever it takes to win that next game and just finding a way to win.
All right, we appreciate the time, Skike. Before we let you go, anybody you want to say hi to?
I'd like to say hi to all my friends and family for the support over my whole career. It's been phenomenal, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without them.
All right, Alex Boshers with us. You might not be able to tell, but you were able to get the Wolf mask that was passed to you from Tim Brown for being the most ferocious player of the game. Why don't you talk about what that means to you?
It's a big honor. They came in Laredo after the 1st or 2nd game. The owners brought it in and said this is going to go to the most ferocious player of the game, and it's been an honor to be a rookie and be able to receive this.
Why don't you actually take that off now for us so we can hear you a little bit better?
Okay.
There, you can breathe again.
Yeah.
There's Alex Boshers. All right, so when you came in the game, runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Van Skike pitched very well to start the game. How important was it to you to try and limit the damage or even reduce the damage or hold them off the board in that inning?
It's big because they were starting to get a little bit of that momentum, especially in a tie ball game. It can go either way at that point. So it was damage control and trying to give up the least amount that I could, and I got lucky to get 2 little pop outs on the infield and limit it.
Silverio then came up with the only run that did score on a little tapper towards 3rd. A tough play. You know you beat him with that pitch, but he's able to get a run home. How do you rebound from that to get to the next batter who's a good hitter in Phil Pohl?
It's difficult because you know that, you know, you should be out of the inning. But also I knew that I executed the exact pitch that I needed to, and he got lucky. So it's not as hard as you would think to come back and go after the next guy the exact same demeanor.
And then you came out for a full inning the next time, and it didn't get off to a great start. A questionable catcher's obstruction and then a walk to Abel Nieves. You had 2 on, nobody out, but you got a big strikeout of the 3-hitter Taylor and then able to get that broken bat double play. What were your thoughts after the 2 guys had reached to start the inning?
It was kind of nerve-wracking knowing that the go-ahead run is coming to the plate, and Taylor, who's hit me before, he's hit me hard before. So it was all about I was just trying to get a little ground ball out of him, and luckily I got a swing and a miss at the end.
I asked Jason Van Skike the same question. John Nestor came through with the single with the bases loaded that gave you guys the lead for good, and he also works hard behind the plate. What does John Nestor mean to this team defensively and offensively?
He's a lot, especially from a pitcher's standpoint. He's everything for us because he's the guy that's calling the game. He's keeping everything in front of him. The guy's a brick wall back there, and that makes me a lot more comfortable to.
And that's a big win tonight to keep this series going. You're second in a back-to-the-wall situation. Every game's big from here on out. How confident is this team going into Game 5?
Oh, extremely confident. You know, even getting down, you know, 0-2 right off the bat, there was never any doubt that we were going to come back and, you know, make a series out of it.
Talk about the starting pitcher tonight, Jason Van Skike. He kind of scuffled in the regular season a little bit. He didn't pitch as well as he would have liked to, but he was big time last year in the playoffs, and here in a must-win, he came up big again. What were your thoughts on Skike?
Just he's a competitor. You know, he battled some soreness and some borderline injuries early on in the season, and he still came out and gave us his all. You know, I'm willing to take a guy like that in the playoffs that's going to get out there and compete for you.
I want to talk to you about a certain plate appearance. Bases were loaded late in the game, and you're able to fit that single over the infield and drive in the go-ahead run. You seem to enjoy those two-out runners in scoring position, bases-loaded situations. What is it about that situation that makes you play at your best?
Same kind of thing, man, just competing. You know, I just try to get out there and relax and get a good pitch to handle and something to get in the outfield, and, you know, luckily I did it.
These hitters, you've seen them in an inordinate amount of times this year. We played them 17 times in the regular season, now the playoffs. How comfortable are you with the game plan going into each game against Laredo?
You know, it's good to know the hitters, but, you know, on their end too, they've seen all our pitchers for the most part a good bit, and they kind of know how we're attacking them, and it's a little bit of a chess match both ways, and you know, even if you have a scouting report against a guy, there's a chance that he's going to adjust to it. So it's really just a pitch-by-pitch kind of thing.
I wanted to ask you about the youngster Alex Boshers out of the bullpen. He came in a huge situation after Van Skike left with runners on second and third, no outs, and then had two on with nobody out the following inning and allowed just one run in all of that. How impressed have you been with Alex Boshers?
He's been a great guy to come out of the bullpen all year. You know, not a ton of experience at the professional level, but, you know, kind of like we were talking about with Skike, he's going to go out there and compete for you and give you all he's got in the tank. So great guy to come out of the pen for us, and, you know, I'm sure he's ready to go again tomorrow.
Before Game 3 yesterday, you were awarded as the Wingnuts Player of the Year, just an organizational award. What did that mean to you?
You know, it was humbling. You know, there's a lot of guys that, you know, could have deserved it. As you know, we had a lot